Advanced Grammar in Years. Martin Hewings.
Unit 11, Future Continuous and Future Perfect, Continuous. A. Future Continuous, I will be doing. We can use the future continuous to talk about 1. Something that is predicted to start before a particular point of future time, and that may continue after this point, often the result of a previous decision or arrangement.
When it goes into orbit, the spacecraft will be carrying 30 kilos of plutonium.
Anna will be helping us to organize the party.
2. A future activity that is part of the normal course of events, or that is one of a repeated or regular series of events.
Dr. Lin will be giving the same talk in room 103, at 10 next Thursday.
Will you be driving to work, as usual?
We can often use either the future continuous or the present continuous when we talk about arranged activities or events in the future. See also Unit 10. Compare.
We will be leaving for Istanbul at 7 o'clock in the evening. Timetabled. Or. Are leaving. And. We are leaving for Istanbul at 7 o'clock in the evening.
When the race starts later this afternoon, the drivers will be hoping for drier weather than last year.
Not, are hoping, not reporting the details of a program or timetable. B. When we don't want to indicate willingness, intention, invitation, etc., we prefer to use the future continuous instead of will. For example, if guests have stayed longer than you wanted, and you don't know when they are leaving, you might ask,
Will you be staying with us again tonight?
asking about their plans, rather than,
Will you stay with us again tonight?
they might think this is an invitation. C. Future perfect and future perfect continuous, I will have done, and I will have been doing. We use the future perfect to say that something will be ended, completed, or achieved by a particular point in the future.
By the time you get home, I will have cleaned the house from top to bottom.
I'm sure his awful behavior will soon have been forgotten.
Passive form. We use the future perfect continuous to emphasize the duration of an activity in progress at a particular point in the future.
Next year I will have been working in the company for 30 years.
With both the future perfect and future perfect continuous, we usually mention the future time. For example, by the time you get home. Next year. D. The future continuous Future perfect and future perfect continuous can also be used to say what we believe or imagine is happening around now.
We could ask to borrow Joe's car. He won't be using it today, he went to work by bike.
Most people will have forgotten the fire by now.
Tennis fans will have been queuing at Wimbledon all day to buy tickets.
We can use the future perfect continuous to say what we think was happening at a point in the past.
Motorist Vicky Hesketh will have been asking herself whether speed cameras are a good idea after she was fined £100 last week for driving at 33 miles per hour in a 30 miles per hour zone.
Exercises 11.1. Complete both sentences in each pair with one verb from the box. Use the future continuous, will, won't be, plus verb ing, in one sentence. And will, won't, plus infinitive, in the other. Give, leave, move, use, work.
We will be leaving in an hour or so make sure your suitcase is packed. Will leave is also possible. We will leave in an hour or so make sure your suitcase is packed.
Without more cheap housing, families will leave the village and find homes in town.
Will you be working late at the office again? I want to know when to cook. Will you work is also possible. Will you work late at the office again? I want to know when to cook.
We need to get this order sent out before Monday.
Well, I'll work over the weekend if that will help.
I won't be using my car until next week, so you can borrow it if you like. Won't use is also possible. I won't use my car until next week, so you can borrow it if you like.
My granddad won't use a computer. He says he's very happy with his old typewriter.
Is your suitcase very heavy? I will give you a hand with it if you like.
Dr. Sankey will be giving evidence at the trial of James Morgan next week. Will give is also possible. Dr. Sankey will give evidence at the trial of James Morgan next week.
He's parked his car across our drive, and says he won't move it. Shall I call the police?
The two schools will be moving to a single campus at the beginning of September. Will move is also possible. The two schools will move to a single campus at the beginning of September.
(11.2). Make sentences with the beginning from 1. A verb from 2. Either in the future perfect or future perfect continuous, and an ending from 3.
The weather forecast says that the rain will have cleared by the morning, and tomorrow will be dry.
If the company is making a profit by the end of the year, then we will have achieved the objective we set ourselves when we took over.
In 2 years' time, Momo will have been acting for 50 years, and shows no sign of retiring from the theatre. Will have acted, is also possible. In 2 years' time, Momo will have acted for 50 years, and shows no sign of retiring from the theatre.
I am confident that I will have finished the report before the end of the week.
This book on Proust is really difficult. On Saturday I will have been reading it for a month, and I'm still only halfway.
As delegates who arrived early will have been discovering, there have been some late changes to the conference program. Will have discovered is also possible. As delegates who arrived early will have discovered, there have been some late changes to the conference program.
.3 Here is part of an email from Emily, an English teacher in Japan, to her friend Rosa. Underline the correct option.
Hi Rosa. Greetings from Osaka. Hope this finds you all well. I suppose by now school will have closed for Christmas, and you will be enjoying a rest. It's hard to believe that Tim's already 18, and that it's only a few months until he will be leaving school for college. My main news is that my brother, Joe, and his family will be arriving next Friday, as part of their big trip around the world. By the time they get here they will have been to California and New Zealand. No doubt Joe's children will have been planning it all out for months. They won't be spending all their time with me. Joe has to go to Tokyo on business, so I will be keeping the rest of the family entertained while he's away. Then they will all be going to Kyoto.